Okay, so I'm going to be reloading some 30-06 and 357 rounds today, and I'll be developing my load for my 30-06 for 180 grain SSTs. First, I'm going to start with annealing all my brass, including even my 357, which I'm pretty sure is not needed, but it's going to anyway, and the 6.5 Grendel, which will just be for later purposes. I do want to start off this video by saying that this is not a how-to or a you should do this. This is just a this is how I do it, and for those who might find it interesting or even might want to give their own tips and experiences, if you liked the video, it would be great if you liked and subscribed and left a comment telling me how you may have done things differently. Okay, so this is the last 30-06 round that I will be doing, and I will not be doing the 357 because I did a little more research on the benefits or the cons or everything with straight wall cases, and found that it is not really needed whatsoever to anneal straight wall cases. But I will be continuing and annealing my 6.5 Grendel cases before I wash everything. And this is the last piece of brass I will be annealing for this batch. So now that I'm done annealing, this all of it comes out looking like. So you get this coloration that helps to remove the work hardening of the brass. I'm going to take all that brass and transfer it into my stainless steel pin Frankfurt Arsenal tumbler and start to tumble. This is just water and Frankfurt Arsenal brass cleaning solution. I like to anneal before I clean, just because it makes them look clean and not have that discoloration on the brass, which isn't a big deal. It doesn't cause any issues, it's just the looks. And I'm already here, so might as well do it before instead of after. Alright, so I have everything prepped, and I'm going to start cleaning it. I'm going to run it for about an hour. I'm going to watch it for just a minute because I have had these gaskets leak and sling water all over the floor, so we're just going to make sure that doesn't happen before I walk away and let it do its thing for, like I said, an hour. Okay, so these are done cleaning. It's been an hour. So now I'm going to take them outside and use my other tools to separate everything and wash them up a little bit. Okay, so here I have Frankfurt Arsenal media separator and garden hose. Make it easier on myself to separate all the dirt and everything. I also have a magnet, but for the steel pins, but I'm not gonna do that outside because that is a good way to lose the pins. I will just do it inside, where if any of the pins come out, it'll be a nice clean area where the pins don't get lost. I like just right here, there's pins inside this little cap. You might not see that. You gotta be careful. Don't stick to it and lose them. Just take sure none of the brass stayed in there. Take and latch this thing. Oh, there's some pins in here. Don't lose them. Take this, put it over. Try and get it to latch down on there. Alright, see, and if you look, some of the pins are actually coming out of this because they're slinging against the wall, and that will cause a couple lost pins. That's why it's better to do this in a place like a bathtub or something like that, but you definitely want to put down a strainer. So, don't 100% trust the pins are all gone. Move it over to the other side. Then I like to take some sort of water hose, whatever, just kind of rinse off the pins. There's a filter at the bottom of this that it'll drain out of. You can see the water running out now. I don't think this really matters, just because it's a cleaning solution, so it'll get cleaned off later anyway. Or it'll be used for cleaning again anyway, so does it really matter? Probably not, but this step does work better. You just use distilled water instead, because basically rinsing soap off of the shells, which this tap water of just about any kind has minerals and stuff in it, so it's going to leave water spots. If you use distilled water, I've noticed that I get shinier cases overall. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run these in circles in here like this, rinse them off of the soap, and then I'm going to cook them in the oven at, I think it's 180 degrees, I think. I'm gonna have to double check. I'll put it, have it put up on the screen for whatever it actually is, but you put it at the temperature, lay them out on a baking sheet, cook them, and if you do it that way to where the water doesn't sit on them for a long time, then it doesn't leave water spots. And that's good enough for me. I'm not going to buy distilled water for this every time, even though distilled water is cheap. So right there. Check for any pins and strain it through the straining side. So there's a few pins that got left behind from the first step that are right down here in the corner. Take that way got rid of probably 99% of the soap, and then go one more time. Actually work a little bit better to open this thing up, and you got to open this the right way. If you don't, it doesn't like to open. See, I can already see a pin. Try to minimize that, so these, you know, metal pins, gravel, probably not going to work too well when it comes to vehicle tires. It's the first time I've ever done it in the driveway too. I usually do it in the bathtub with a strainer, but I don't have the strainer at the moment to be able to do it. So I'm just going to do it this way, call it good. Alright, I think that should be good enough. Take and put the cap back on. Drain this water out. And then give it a good spin. It works better if you put the top on it. Well, that was not as heavy as I thought it was going to be. But I didn't want to because of the... I'm just going to do this. Got the strainer in the bottom of it. Put this on there. Hold it down. And then give it a nice quick spin. Fling some of the water off. And I'm going to call that good. An extra step, just throw them in a towel, roll them. Helps to get a shinier clean with no water spots. Now once you hand dry them, just lay them out on a pan. It doesn't have to be like this. Preferably if they're all laying flat on the pan would be better. But I'm trying to do this quickly while I record a video so that they don't end up a water spot. Set the oven to 180 and then all I'm gonna do is just shove her in for roughly about 20 minutes. And while I wait for the oven to cook, I'm just gonna use another Frankfurt Arsenal thing. And no, obviously not sponsored, but wish it was. I'm gonna leave none on the ground because it will get into your feet. And here is the final outcome of what the brass looks like. Nice and shiny. Even got rid of a lot of the discoloration from annealing, even though there still is some left. But I will say, when you are cleaning them after you've done heated them, or you can do it before, you might want to just take a quick peek down inside, because especially with bigger brass like 357, one of the worst ones for me is 450 Bushmaster and 45 ACP. But when you go to clean them, the steel pins will get down in there, get jammed sideways, and get in the primer pocket, and then jam them against the wall and won't come out. And if you try to deprime them when they have that pin in there, it will damage your sizing pin. But if you watched this far, thank you for watching. Hope this gave you something to think about, or maybe you could tell me what I did wrong, or how you liked it in the comments. Catch you next time.